Hello and welcome to another Napoleon Total War online battle. In this one I command Prussia, and my opponent, Mr. Moneybags, commands the UK. So, starting with my army, I have one general with a fine mustache, I must say. I've got my 5 Prussian Fusiliers, some of the best light infantry in the game apart from Portugal. I've got 2 foot guards over on, I believe, my right flank. I've got a Landwehr in front of them, a militia that is. And I've got 6 musketeers. And then for my cav contingent, I've got 3 lancers. I've got the cuirassiers, heavy cav. And I've got Leutzo's free corps protecting my flank. My opponent, as I mentioned, is playing UK. He's got a general's staff. He has a pretty good light contingent as well, being UK. He's got 2 King's German Legion light infantry, and 3 regular light foot. He's got 2 foot guards, one on either flank. He's got 7 foot, horse guards, dragoons, and the 10th Hussars. Where are those 10th Hussars? I always like when someone brings, like, named regiments. Here they are. Beautiful. So I think his formation here, I don't really agree with putting the foot guards on either flank. I think you want to put them together and concentrate that force, where it matters. Now, how will I concentrate them, is sometimes up for debate, but you want to if you spread out your strong units, then you're kind of just weak everywhere. So here, I'm just, doing my thing where I'm adjusting cav kind of on the fly based on where I think I might need them. There's a little ways before the units collide, but that's okay. He's, moving his guys up as well. And, right now, his foot are in these little 2-line formations, and his light foot are not in skirmish. But it's okay if your light foot are not in skirmish before you get into position. Now here, of course, I see he's got a good few cav, so yeah, I hurry up my lancers to get into place. And I think, I'll have a good chance to get some shots off on his cav, and then maybe countercharge them before, and instead he gets to shoot me, which I forgot that they were shooter cav. And he gets quite a few shots on my lights before they get into position. And in fact, I argue we get a little too close here. Because he'll end up being able to shoot with his foot, if I remember right, but that also means, so he moves him a little bit closer and then he can shoot. That is one so yeah, so normally I say you don't want to have your light so close to your line, but if you have your line shooting as well, then that's not a bad move. And here, I go ahead and just want to get my general in position because my lights are under a lot of fire. And here, I kind of get some of my cav in position, bring more around. And I inspire one of these, I believe the middle Fusilier. So here, they're taking a lot more fire, they're taking a lot of fire, but the foot are also taking fire, so it's kind of a trade-off. And here, I decide I'll use one of my lancers to go ahead and charge in and disrupt his line while we're exchanging fire. Take some pressure off of my Fusilier that's almost dead. And yeah, he manages to form the square, but I do hit his light foot, and by, disrupting everything, forcing these guys into square, I take some pressure off of my units. And actually, by going into square with this guy, he puts the corner of it in range of my musketeers. So my cav's job done, I pull them back. And I go ahead and have my general inspire everyone, the cav, the lights. and that keeps them fighting for a while. I think that was a really good use of that ability. And you know, here he continues to fire a bit while they get back into position. And this is actually kind of an interesting scenario. So his light foot are in range of my musketeers, but his regular foot are not quite. And they decide I'm just going to go ahead and charge my cav at his cav. See if I can kind of sneak that without them noticing. But he notices. Manages to catch Loitzo's free course in the flank, and I manage to then catch his dragoons kind of in the flank. And he brings more dragoons in to help while these lancers I just kind of keep here. And hoping he's not paying attention because of this fight, I send my lancers back into the fight, charging at this undermanned foot anyway, so they can't form square. Well, these lights, what's left of them, continue to shoot, and I get a nice shot here. These form square, and I think I'll just try to charge through these. And here he gets his foot guards shooting my cav, so I just like to pull them out. And I do charge his general a little bit, but yeah, he gets my cav. But again, they've done some serious disruption. I mean, this foot is seriously hurt. So here, retreat my cav through my line, and he tries to give up. He notices what I'm doing, gives up the pursuit, but not until his cav is shot up. It's too late. And here I think, I'm still shooting at his horse guard, so he pulls back, and he tries to collapse his line here. So that's when I commit my foot guards into the battle, as well as these two musketeers. Just kind of attack around this flank. Meanwhile, my remainder of my Fusiliers are shooting. So, it's kind of funny, like, I lost all of my Fusiliers before he lost his light foot. In a sense, you could say he won the light battle, UK versus Britain, by supporting with his foot, but I wrecked his foot as well, so I think it was worth it for me. And here, these musketeers, honestly, I probably should have pulled this sectional line back while I attacked here. And here, some more of my Fusiliers run. That's okay. My heavy cav, my cuirassiers are still doing okay. So I decide to, bring them in, because they're a nice heavy cav unit. And so here I'm trading fire. And, my foot guards, see, they're kind of way off on the flank here. These ones get to shoot though, so that's nice. And while I'm trading fire, I decide, charge in my heavy cav. But he's pretty good. Oh yeah, he routs the little depleted guys, and I go ahead and charge my lancers here. He forms the square, and I charge the cuirassiers here, hoping he'll be distracted, which works out pretty well. And get into this foot, and I mean that's pretty much gonna really hurt that. But on the other hand, the cuirassiers are just on their own and a bunch of enemies. So, maybe that wasn't the best trade for a little bit of disruption. And here, I decide to move up this section of my line with the actual foot guards up onto his flank, with my militia kind of standing at the front, taking hopefully the brunt. And he starts running away, trying to, deny the flank. And then that kind of creates a point right here. Oh yeah, so he did a cav charge, form square on time easily, get out of square, but, that was a nice diversion, I suppose. But at this point, he doesn't really have much of a plan available to him, so I'm a little bit worried about these cav, the 10th Hussars, but I still keep my Fusiliers. I mean, they're not unprotected. They could run one way or the other, but they're not protected in as usual a way. So yeah, here, he creates this kind of fulcrum that I like to, when people do these bends, like right here, great place to attack. Because you kind of get fire on both these units. You get enfilade fire on one of them. It works out pretty well. And here, he tries to charge his foot. I'm guessing they were out of ammo. And it doesn't really work though, so he charges in. But now they're super low on morale too, and why does he get into melee? And here, yeah, I'm kind of using my general to try to save the line. This one runs away, reforms, but I don't notice it reform quite yet. Meanwhile, I'm trading fire here, and like, this gate match is still a little bit in flux. Like, if he hadn't just done all these, you know, infantry charges right away. Oh yeah, I do charge my Fusiliers at his foot that are low on morale, and they run away here. And so now he does his cav charge. He's a little bit too late, so form a square. But had he done that a little bit earlier, he maybe could have done some work on this flank, but now, like, so I said this battle was still kind of undecided. Now it isn't really anymore. These Fusiliers, I just charge him into this foot, because while they're in melee, they can't shoot. He manages to get his cav away from the square and into this foot. Well, that's fine. Like, while these guys aren't shooting, these other two finish off this unit. And I think this is around when he sent the GG message. And I bring these units back into the fight. And, you know, I finish off these foot after they beat my lights. He routs these musketeers, but this line gets into position to fire, and I think they get off one volley before I have to form a square. Yeah. Not even a full volley, like a few units shoot their guns. And, yeah, see, I get the square. Honestly, I think getting the square that late shouldn't really count, but it does. And his units run away here, and that's pretty much the match. So now fast forward, and I decide, you know, I'm gonna bring my units up, and then I'm gonna wait till all my units are ready, because he's reforming his line. Don't want to do one of those, like, overcautious pursuits, because he's still got, like, you know, a foot guard left. That's a pretty good strength. Like half strength, maybe, so make sure my good units are in place as well. Oh, that's not the way I want the camera to rotate. And yeah, just decided to bring this one up on the flank. I think it was out of ammo, actually. So, yeah. I decide I'll charge it, and he charges his general at it because it's low. And I decide, yeah, okay, he charges his foot guards, I'll charge them with my regular musketeers, so that my foot guards can get a few more shots, maybe? Which, oh yeah, see that officer shooting at him? That was cool, and I decide, you know what the hell. Bayonets it is. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, melee battles, best way to end Napoleon Total War. In multiplayer, just let the bayonet be the final thing. And these foot guards can't really figure out what they want to do with their charge. But eventually they go into... So I think they're trying to maintain their formation, even though they're not on guard mode. And yet, here they go. And that's enough to finish up the foot guards. Good job. Hey, there's the officer with his sword. And yeah. So that worked really well. I mean, I didn't actually have that many men left. It was a close, good battle. So, good game, Mr. Moneybags. It was a fun one. For everybody else, thank you for watching.